Avs lose to the Calgary Flames 5-1. We're going to keep this one brief as there's just not that many good things to talk about from this one. 18 seconds in, the Avs defense sets the tone for the rest of the game with a Zadorov gets past the puck behind his own net into the corner here. Here he has sole possession with enough time to do more or less whatever he wants with it, but he mishandles it a little bit. That allows Calgary to close the gap from both sides, and then he panics a bit and kind of just tries to throw it behind the net, but doesn't even get very much on that either. So Frolik picks it up behind him here, it just comes around on the near side of the net. Barry gets caught on the wrong side here, meaning Zadorov has to try and backtrack all the way over to the other side of the net to cover Frolik. He doesn't get there in time. Frolik fires a shot off, and Varley gets caught off a bit as it slips right through him and into the net. With Zadorov, the highs are sky high and the lows are 6 feet under. Right now, we're getting pretty close to 6 feet under. Since EJ went down, Zadorov really has struggled in every way, and he's lost his confidence, and that's a big factor for him. When he's not playing confident, he does not look good. He would continue to make mistake after mistake throughout this game, and eventually would end up getting benched for the third period. Not pretty. Hopefully, he can figure it out, because this defense desperately needs him. First period was probably the Avs' best period offensively. They ended up outshooting Calgary 15-8, so that's a little deceiving, as Calgary missed a lot of shots, so possession was relatively even, but the Avs got a number of good chances. They just couldn't finish. And when you're not capitalizing on your chances, the other team usually is. About 7.5 minutes in, Calgary would stretch the lead to 2. A big rebound off of a Barry shot causes 3 Avs to get caught below the hash marks while only 2 Flames are. Barry is already panicking and starting to go back at full speed. Meanwhile, the Flames are going to do a stretch pass up to take advantage of this. Tkachuk gains the blue line, holds up, forces Zadorov to challenge him directly so he can just leave it for the next man coming in Backlund. Barry is back ahead of that, but he has to play the middle of the ice as it's a 3-on-2 situation, essentially creating a 2-on-1 situation now with Zadorov and Tkachuk out of the play. And to make matters worse, at best, Landeskog is even with his man, so it's like a 3-on-1.5 really at this point. Backlund just goes across to Giordano here, and Giordano makes sure to finish this one. Avs get caught there and are beat up the ice. That's never a good situation, especially with the defense the Avs are icing. And then, obviously, Calgary able to convert their chances while the Avs are not. From there, through the middle part of the period, the Avs really slow down. Both teams do, really. There aren't very many chances going back and forth either way. And then later in the period, it's Calgary's turn to have a After a failed entry, the Avs are going to reset. Siemens is going to go over to Barry, and then Barry's going to find McKinnon in the middle of the neutral zone. From there, McKinnon is really just going to dump this puck in, but it stays on net, somehow finds its way through Gillies, bounces off the post, off Gillies, and in. Well, sometimes you just shrug and take what you can get, I guess. McKinnon manages to stay hot off of that, and Duncan Siemens scores his first ever NHL point with the secondary assist there. Congrats to him. I'm sure that one will truly be a memorable one, eh? So it was a decent period. You had struggles on defense, but you generated a good amount of offense, and a little bit of luck keeps it a 1-goal game heading into the second period. Not awful, you'll take it. The second period started off slow for both teams once again, and then about 6 minutes in, the Avs got their first power play of the game. And this is where you really knew the Avs were in trouble. Both Nathan MacKinnon and Sam Girard would ring a post for post number 51 and 52 on the season. 2 posts a game keeps me insane, and you knew right then and there that the Avs were going to struggle to convert anything more in this game. After the Avs failed to score on that power play, Zadorov quickly takes a counter penalty, and Calgary would end up converting on that one in the middle of the period. On the PK, Avs actually won a puck battle behind their own net, and Como has clear possession of the puck here. Unfortunately, he doesn't make a great decision and decides to pull up in the corner here, and that causes him to end up losing the puck to the Flames. From there, it just gets sent up high to Mark Stone, and Stone's just going to throw this one at the net, and you're going to see Sean Monahan drift right across the front of the crease and tip this one, giving Barley absolutely no chance. From there, it was kind of the same story as the first period. The Avs were getting more shots on goal, but they weren't converting their chances, and now with a 2-goal lead this late in the game, Calgary was content to just kind of set up and flow with it. Down the stretch of the second, Zadorov would continue to look terrible, taking another penalty and just struggling on every shift. It was really one of the worst games I've seen from him. The Avs would kill that one, and they'd take the 2-goal deficit into the third period. While still in the game at that point, by 2.5 minutes into the third period, it was all over. The Avs have gotten a bit stretched out on a stretch pass during a change here, so they struggle to get back into position soundly. As the Calgary works the puck back up to the point, it gets fanned on, but comes back down to the slot, where it just gets slid over to Troy Brouwer. From there, Brouwer takes his time with this one, picking his spot. Kerfoot comes over, tries to block the shot, and this is one Varley probably should have had if he was playing on the top of his game, but everything was just going wrong for the Avs in this one, and it finds the back of the net. And that was the end of this one. The rest of the third period isn't even really worth talking about. It was just the Avs going through the motions and getting this one over with. Calgary would add another goal during that time, and the Avs just wouldn't do anything. And this was kind of the ugly one that I was waiting for that really sets the tone of where the Avs are. They lose big to another team in that wildcard playoff race. I wasn't expecting the defense to be great without EJ, and I knew it was going to look like this at times. But Zadorov needs to be better. He's in that point in his career now where he needs to take that next step towards consistency to be one of the Avs' best defensemen. If he's not solid on the back end for them without EJ, then nobody's going to be. But what might be more concerning was the Avs' lack of finishing ability. The Avs really struggled to score when McKinnon was out of the lineup, and we hoped that McKinnon coming back would help infuse them there, but it really hasn't. In fact, the Avs were basically shut out tonight with their only goal coming from a center ice dump in. And that's the bigger problem for me going forward, especially since we know their defense isn't going to be the greatest. Why not just open it up and score a bunch of goals, maybe try to win some games that way? And it wasn't that their offense was bad. They did produce a good amount of chances, but their finishing ability has all but disappeared. When you don't play any defense and you don't score any goals, it's just not fun hockey to watch. Hopefully they can figure out the offensive side of it, at least going through the next couple of games. That is the end of this very short and frustrated game video review. Thank you for watching. I'm Rudo3, and